First, I'm grateful for my 6-month-old daughter.
Yeah.
But that leads me to my questions now. I'm in this weird space of work-life balance. So my question is, how do I turn followers into clients without scaring them with this price? What I've heard here today is I need to work on my messaging. Um,
What do you do?
I'm a parent coach.
Oh, awesome. Is this your first
Yes.
child?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
But
And
I
then
became certified before I was a parent as well. So I
perfect.
can have that realm for it. It doesn't just limit to you being a parent.
Yeah. And then what is your price point, give or take?
Well, after I did the experience, I changed everything. So I have literally, I was like, oh God. So I had a 12-week transformational course and I
Sure.
canceled saying it 12-week. But that is 1,500. I am
Okay.
now working on continuing with that just for one-on-one, but slowly building more of one-to-many online. But again, 6-month-old don't have a lot of time to do
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, so right now my price point is 1,500 for my ideal thing. However, like I just did a toddler tantrum course last week, like hyped it up, did all the things, thought I was following everything. And I only had one person participate. And I like cut the price crazily because I'm like, it's not selling. And it was me in that desperation phase.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, I would have
Yeah.
to do like a full audit to like see
Right.
you're not doing anything wrong. It's likely a
Yeah.
messaging thing. Are you working with only new parents or all parents?
All parents.
And then the person who bought, is she a new parent?
No.
Okay.
She has like a 4-year-old. And I have a client currently that I work with on a weekly basis, and it's wonderful. And I'm excited to get her testimonial back and things. But every time I've talked to somebody and I'm like so excited and I know they are, and then I get the price, or I send them an email that has the price after I do the whole like free 30 minutes, all this stuff. And
Yeah.
then it's like, I'm really busy. I can't commit to that. And,
So are you not saying the price on the call?
no.
Oh, okay. Well, I would definitely change that approach.
Okay.
There's no like right or wrong way, but if we are offering discovery calls, sales calls, whatever you want to call them, doesn't matter. And we've never worked together. So I'm like, I have no context for you and your business. The biggest mistake that like 99.9% of people make on sales calls is
Mhm.
they coach.
Mhm.
So this is not a free
Yeah.
coaching call. This is not like a fix it call. Most of the time, what we do, collective we, in an effort to feel valuable and to whether it's literally stroke our ego or just feel like we're presenting a lot of value, we coach and we overcoach on calls,
I
leaving
do
the client
that.
feeling like they're fixed, or you give them a plan and they're like, great, I'm going to go work on the plan you just told me about for free. And now I don't need you. The other thing that happens is when you're presenting the offer, or excuse me, the investment via email, now they're not there, they're not in front of you, there's no dialogue going back and forth. It's really easy for them to ghost you. It's really easy for them to be like, delete. It's really easy for them to just email back and sort of hide behind the keyboard and go like, no thanks, not right now, life is busy. When we're presenting a price or an investment on a call, it opens it up for dialogue. It's not about backing somebody into a corner. It's about literally being able to have a conversation with this person. So we don't believe in scripts for sales calls. I'm not a fan of scripts. And in the same breath, with our Empower clients, because they're usually doing them for the first time, we have an outline that we want them to walk through just to kind of give them, because there's a lot of fumbling that happens on sales calls. The point of a sales call, this is actually the point of it. Most of us have gotten far away from this. The point of a sales call is not to sell someone something. The point of a sales call is to offer an opportunity for them to ask any quick little last minute questions that they still have lingering that they didn't get clear from your content or your sales page or your emails. Now, if you came to DBE Live, it sounds like
Mhm. Yeah.
amazing. So during DBE Live, I know it was like 7,000 hours of content, but I talked about by the way, if you're all like, what the heck is DBE Live? We host a big free event every year and it ran out and we did it in March. So a lot of people were there. I talk about sales like dating. So when you think about your
Mhm.
content, your emails, and your social media posts, and your sales page, all of that is the dating leading up to the proposal.
Mhm.
A sales call is not the proposal. A sales call is literally you just being like, okay, cool. Are there any last questions? The yes should have already happened in the person's head. And of course, money is going to be a thing. So usually what it is I'm coming to the call. I know it's a yes. And then there's a addendum. It's like, it's a yes, addendum, asterisk, 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 if it falls in this price range. So the way that we love to structure a sales call is going to be basically like this. And y'all can write this down. I'm going to go fast. But when you hop on the call, the first thing is like, you got to get the ball in your court. This is your call. They're not interviewing you. You're interviewing them. It's an honor to get chosen to be inside of my program. I don't say yes to everyone. I say no to a lot of people. So this is all about if you are going to be a good fit for me. And of course you want to see if I'm a good fit for you. So when you get on a sales call, you get the ball in your court right away. And it's real quick and easy. Emily, so grateful you jumped on. I want to be really mindful of both of our times. As you know, we have 20 minutes together. I just want to make sure that I walk you through any last questions that you might have about Empower. And once I answer those questions, if we're both feeling like it's a good fit, I'm happy to tell you a little bit more about what we have going on with the program. Sound good? Yeah? Okay, great. Perfect. Then you say yes, it immediately comes back to me. Emily, real quick, I know that you filled out the intake questions beforehand. So I already, and this is true, I stalk people's Instagram accounts before we get on the call because I want to see what they're all about. So I already know that you're a parenting coach. I saw that you have a couple different offers. I'm loving what you're doing on social media. I'm curious, number one, what are you currently struggling with? Like what really is a struggle? And then number two, if I had to do a genie lamp and you rub that lamp and three things could poof magically appear, what would that be for you? What would those big goals be? Like what would be the best case scenario for your business in 1 month, 3 months, whatever. And then you tell me about it. And I'm taking notes vigorously. And I tell you at the beginning, I'm going to take notes, right? Taking notes vigorously. And you're telling me about all the pains and everything you've tried. And I'm asking more questions. I just keep asking more questions. You are doing the majority of the talking, not me. I don't offer any solutions. There's no coaching. So, okay, interesting. Tell me more about that. What have you tried? Why hasn't that worked? Okay, great. How do you know? Yada, yada, yada. Cha, 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 cha. Then at the very end, if I do think that you're a good fit, I'll continue on. I'll say, great. Thank you for explaining everything. It's kind of what I gathered from your intake form. This is like, we're 3 minutes into the call. This is fast. Everything that I saw on social media totally makes sense. Based on the fact that we're on this call right now, tells me that you've already looked into Empower. What questions do you have for me that were not answered in the video, emails, and sales page? I mean, I'm not going to be a jerk, but come on, right? So it's like, what did I not answer yet? And then you ask your questions and I give you the answers. And after I get all those done, we keep it really tight. I'm like, awesome. Based on everything that you said, and I reference back to my notes, this was a pain. You've tried this. That was a pain. You've tried that. I know Empower is a great fit for you. Not I think, if it's true. I know Empower is a great fit for you because like we just talked about in some of those questions you had, we actually help you with that. We'll nail down that. That's not even an issue and you shouldn't even be working on that. So it is a great fit. Would you love to hear more about the investment? Yes. Great. We have 2 options. Now, you always want to start with the highest first. We have 2 options. Most people do payment plan options. I'm like not pretending right now. I'm talking to all of you. So most people do a payment plan options. If there's interest on them, they're generally more expensive than the pay in full option. So when you're presenting someone with options, do not give them 500 options. 2 is good. 2 is enough. Don't give more than 2. Start with the most expensive first. So at that point, you would say, great, we have 2 different options. And like pause, breathe, let them digest. The first option we have is $1,200 a month for 3 months. Do the math for them. So that comes out to $3,600. And it's again, $1,200 for 3 months. And they're going to write that down. And they might have a little bit of sticker shock and that's okay. Say, okay. And then the second option, this one's my favorite because you actually get to save $600, is just $3,000 paid in full. And you just shut up. And then you say, how does that feel? Now, depending on your price points, they might be like, wow, that was like a lot more than I was anticipating. That was kind of exactly what I thought. Like it's a lot, but I really want it. I'm going to have to talk to my spouse. And that's where like you are going to take the approach that you want to take that is best for your business. I personally am not my own value system in our business. I'm not a pusher. I'm not one to be like, take out a credit card, like figure it out. Don't screw your spouse. I'm like, no, I'm the opposite. I'm like, yeah, it is a big investment and you absolutely should talk to, and I would have gotten his name, Mike. because when you said I'll have to talk to my spouse, I'll go, what's their name? And then you say Mike, and I say, great, you should talk to Mike. In fact, if Mike has questions, have him jot them down, or feel free to email me and we can come back, and I want to make sure that I answer his questions as well, because it is a really big investment for you and your family. I totally get that. But, and then you can kind of go through it again, like, based on you said you're stuck here, I literally offered you that solution. I'm giving you a lifeboat. And now you're saying, well, I don't know. But before you said you'd do anything for that lifeboat, it's kind of like, well, where are you really at? So at that point, now we're opening for a discussion. Now we can kind of talk through it. Maybe there's fears, objections, maybe there's things, maybe there's more questions that come up. Maybe they ask if, God, this happens all the time. Like, is there any way that you could do like a 6-month payment plan? And like, that's on you as the business owner. You get to make that decision, whether you make it on the call or you say, you know what? Let me check numbers. Let me sleep on that. Let me check with my team. Let me whatever, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. But like, I'd love to make it work for you. You really are a great fit. You get to make that call as a business owner. So, and you don't have to give them an answer right then and there, but doing it on the call gives them an opportunity for a conversation to happen. And then however many times it's happening, 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, if they're like, yeah, I'm like scared out of my mind, but I want to do it, then you take the payment on the call. We don't send emails with links, because yeah, I'll do it, send me the link is just a really nice way of saying, absolutely not. This is way over budget. I don't see the value, and I'm scared to tell you that on the phone. So we do it on the call. So it's like, great, you're in. You're like, I'm so excited. This is great. Let me pull the link up. Which one felt best for you? Did you want to do the pay in full, or did you want to do the payment plan? I want to do the payment plan. Okay, great. Boom. I just sent it to you in the chat. While you're grabbing your credit card, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to start plugging your information in, and you could literally just be like tinkering. You don't have to do anything. But it doesn't need to be some like weird thing. This is also where people will use like incentives sometimes, where if you buy on the call, I'll give you this other bonus. I'll throw in a free, an extra one-on-one coaching call. But it's not about manipulation and pushing them to make a decision that's out of alignment. It's just like, you, the consumer, are supposed to know that you're in before we get on the call. Like, this isn't a sales pitch, nor is this a coaching call. This is like a, hey, I'm going to answer your last minute questions to make sure that we're both on the same page, and then let's get you enrolled. If there is some sort of a, like, I do need to talk to my spouse, I get a lot of like, I want to meditate on it. That's like a huge one with our audience. I want to meditate. I'm like, I get it. I meditate every day. I totally get it. I need to feel into my body. I need to go for a walk, whatever. Or a lot of times people will jump on a call like at work. They're like on their lunch break. So like, they're not ready to pull out their credit card and invest. I'm like, awesome. But then you tell them, I will follow up with you tonight, or, is this time tomorrow good? And you want to make sure that you're doing the follow-up, again, not to like make the sale, but to make sure that the person is seen and heard, and that they feel supported in the decision, right? So that's kind of the process I would go through.
Okay, that's very helpful. In regards to that too, like I said, I need to get more clear on my messaging, I guess, because when you said in DB Live, like, cut the 12-week name title, I was like, oh my gosh. So I also think with the money, it's also a time commitment. And that's the other reason a lot of people, we have the call and they're so excited, and then they're like, 12 weeks though. And I don't know how to finagle that to be like, it's worth it, I swear. Like,
yeah, that is going to be a huge objection, especially with your client of being a busy parent. So it's something you might want to consider actually changing the program. People, we all think that more is better. And so a lot of us create programs that are really robust, thinking that it's going to be better. The best program is the shortest amount of time to transformation. It's like why the diet pill industry exists. We can all go to the gym and eat healthy. Like, we can all do it. We just don't want to. So we have liposuction, and we have diet pills, and we have laxatives, and laxatives are for another reason, but people use them for dieting, right? It's like, because we want, what's the shortest amount of time you're going to get me to the goal I want? So when we're thinking about building a program, especially for someone who time is an issue, long is not better, shorter is better. Can you get me to my goal in 6 weeks? Can you get me to my goal in 4 weeks? How fast can you get me to my goal? And it doesn't mean that you have to throw away all the content that you're teaching, but maybe it is more of like the signature intro offer is a 4-week or a 6-week thing. And then the rest of the content that is important, it's the next thing, it's the next question they're going to have. Maybe that becomes more of a continuation option after they've graduated from the initial 6-week thing. Because now also maybe they're seeing that like, it's not that much of a commitment. I did do it. I had success in a 4-week or a 6-week thing. And so, yeah, I would like a little maintenance. I would like to take it to the next level. I'd like to learn the next thing. And then maybe you have something like for them for that. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's what I was worried about. I was like, but all this content is necessary with, I
Totally.
feel it is, and it all, because it's all separate, categories. And I didn't want to just like either squeeze it all together or get rid of it. Okay, that's very helpful.
The other thing that I would say too, the last thing I'll say, and then I'll end with Diana. A lot of us want to take our client from A to Z,
Mhm.
or we want to go like A to F or A to D. And like, we really only need to go A to B.
Okay.
And then there can be something else that takes them from B to C. And then maybe there's something else that takes them from C to D, and maybe you never take them beyond it. But we don't have to take them from A to Z. We likely can't take them from A to Z, actually. You know what I mean? So I would focus on like, what's the first most important transformation? Like, what's the one that's going to just change everything, even though it could be the tiniest thing. It could be the tiniest thing. It's like, and then there can be more. And I'm not saying that we have to constantly be selling our people. Like we have two things we sell for the most part. Like we don't have like a million. We're not like, haha, got you in Empower. Now you got to buy the next thing and then the next thing. Like, no, we just give it to them. I mean, really, but it's like, cool. You went through Empower, go work on your business, get it to a point that you can join the mastermind, because the mastermind has a minimum revenue. Like you got to get your business to a point where you're doing multiple six figures. And then we want to see you in the mastermind. And on the in between, we're going to give you, Melissa said it before, like I watched the training on master classes and webinars. Like we're going to give you things in between and we're going to help you and stuff. But it's like, I'm not just selling you. And it's not constantly like you go into the car place for an oil change and they like slash your tire and they're like, "Ooh, you had a flat tire too." Like, that's not what I'm saying, but it's just like, it's your job to think about the journey of the client.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.